Hey guys, a little non-standard, less theatrical start to this week, and I just want to say that I am incredibly sorry for not getting this video out to all of you sooner. It has been one hell of a week, to say the least, in both Sato and I's personal lives, and editing this video has definitely taken a backseat. So I'm very sorry to say today's video is not exactly up to what we want to call our standard, and this for sure will not become a reoccurrence. So please sit back, relax, and please enjoy the video for what it is. Thanks, guys. We typically don't cover outside the Power 4 that much for obvious reasons, and this game is that case in point. I like how there was this illusion from last year's playoff format that every year we'll have a Boise State. Unlike last year, the committee has changed the rules from automatic playoff bids to rather the format it should have stayed. The 12 most deserving teams in the country that go to the playoffs. So that also goes to 10-3 conference champions and 11-2 runner-ups, SMU and Clemson. As for the group of 6, same applies. Unless you absolutely dominate like Boise State did last year, you are not guaranteed a playoff spot. The USF and Memphis game has shown one thing this year for all of our non-Power 4 players: cannibalism. The smaller conference schools have all but eliminated each other and each other's chances of making the playoffs. Memphis came into last week with the best chances to make the playoffs. And what they did last week, well, they went and lost to an insufferable group of UAB Trailblazers. Then turn around and beat the only non-Power 4 school in the top 25, USF. Well, the Bahamas I heard is pretty nice in December, so have fun at the Bahamas Bowl. And for any other above 500 program non-Power 4 conference school, have fun playing in Dahmer's Butcher Shop Bowl in Milwaukee.
The word cannibalism oddly fits well for what the non-Power 4 teams have been doing here lately, with Memphis and UCF being the only two options for the group of 5 schools to even have a chance to make the playoffs. Are they though? Memphis, after this win over 18th ranked UCF, they are probably the only one since they had that disastrous loss against UAB last week, which might kind of hurt them with their whole strength of schedule with how the committee does that shit. But the funny part is, they're not even first place in their conference. That goes to an unranked Navy, which is 7-0 overall and 5-0 in the American Conference. But that's how strength is an opponent, blah blah blah, and that's why they're not ranked, yada yada yada. But you may have to consider them, maybe? Who knows? Well, we shall see who gets that spot for the lower end schools in December. That's if they get any. But hey, all I can say is if SMU can do it, so can they.
Coach Kiffin. Are you talking a little bit to Oklahoma's players?
This guy yelled at me like during the game like 5 times how great they were, and we can't score on them.
As Luke Combs sings, there ain't no love in Oklahoma. And the love is obviously not being shown to the Sooners right now. Brett Venables seems to have a problem a lot of great defensive-minded coaches do. Great defense does win games, but points also sort of play a factor in the outcome of a game, and you kind of need to score them and score them consistently. Home run hitters help your chances of winning a game, of course, but they don't guarantee you winning the game. As for Lane Kiffin and co., they went into Norman after a late game stinker last week in Athens and did what great teams have to do from time to time: respond. Is Kiffin coaching his magnum opus right now with Ole Miss getting his first top 25 win on the road? And is this Kiffin's last hurrah in Oxford, with Gainesville on the line supposedly offering a king's ransom for his services? Many questions without answers surround the once failed USC throwaway, now turned the hottest coaching candidate for all major programs in the country without coaches right now. But one question that does have an answer stands out among the rest. Is Kiffin the real deal? That's a resounding yes. So, don't go fucking this up, okay, Lane?
It'd be nice to see Lane Kiffin in blue and white in Happy Valley, but that would require us to have 2 brain cells to rub together. But, you know, I digress. This was a good back and forth game. That 1 point, the score was 25-26 with Oklahoma in the lead. But this lead wouldn't last long, with Oklahoma being scoreless in the fourth quarter to Ole Miss having a touchdown and field goal to cap off the game. I think I can confidently say Oklahoma, this year is not your year for the playoffs at all. I believe that they will be ranked at the end of the year, but they won't be good enough to make the cut. As for the Rebs, with their one loss to so far being that fireworks show in Athens, I believe that they have made their early case for the playoffs. See you in December, Rebs.
After last week's yet another failure of Bielema having a food coma in games that matter, he decided to follow that with not just a food coma, he followed it by not even leaving the hotel's breakfast lounge and failing to show up for the game. Washington absolutely rolled the Fighting Illini, and all hope Illinois had of rebounding from last week was extinguished. As for Washington, sitting at 6-2 and playing decent football, I don't see how they remain unranked. So hey, OSU might actually have a ranked win after all.
After Illinois' hot start to the season, they have fallen flat like Bielema, falling on a couch on a food coma on a Thanksgiving evening. After the Illini took the first and only lead in the fleeting moments of the first half, the Huskies would cap off said half with a touchdown. Then after that, it was all Washington. Illinois only getting one more score in the fourth, but it would be all for nothing. The Illini fall to 2-3 in conference play and are now unranked and have a 0% chance at the Big Ten championship game in Indy and the playoffs. It will be best to salvage the year and get a decent bowl game, and that's the best case scenario for them. As for Washington, good game. They aren't elite, but they're playing good football, to the point where I can see them being ranked at the end of the year with at least a 9-3 season possible, with a possible last loss to Oregon for the last game of the season.
Some 70 years ago, it feels at this point, Vandy was the guaranteed win. All SEC schools could take solace in the fact knowing that they at least had one victory that year. The year is now 2025, and Vanderbilt is not only competitive, they're nationally competitive. Granted, Bo Prabula getting hurt in this matchup did not do Mizzou any favors. They still remained competitive all throughout to include a crazy finish of mere inches. Vandy has inserted themselves not only as ranked, but a player in the playoffs. As for ARP, he still doesn't deserve the Heisman.
This was a good, even match game. Like you said, the unfortunate retirement of Bo Prabula didn't help Mizzou's efforts. Vandy with this game proved to the SEC and the whole country that they're a legit contender and will be a seed in December. For a good 90% of the game, it was either tied either at nothing, 3 points, or 10 points each. It was a 50-50 match that could have gone either way if one of the other teams made a mistake. Zollers came in to replace Bo and did a pretty decent job, getting a touchdown in the fourth quarter to tie it to 10 each. But even though the receiver was mere inches at the end of the game, short of the goal line to make it a score in the last minute Hail Mary, it was a phenomenal catch and effort, but unfortunately it just came short. This isn't the end for Mizzou either. I believe they still have a shot at a possible low seed if everything goes in their favor. But like I said earlier, because if SMU and Boise State can do it, so can they.
Oh shit! A cockroach! We got a cockroach! We got a cockroach!
I had all but had my script written after Alabama found themselves down 8 with under 10 minutes to go and no signs of improvement to be seen as the offense played much of the game in lackluster fashion. But football is a game of unpredictability and unforeseen momentum shifts. Alabama has shown the country one thing that no other team has. They know how to get in a fist fight while also taking some licks, while everyone prays for their immediate failure, and still deliver the knockout blow. Folks are going to be quick and say, But South Carolina's 3-4. Well, for most people saying that, I got one for you. Michigan was 6-5 when they went to Columbus last year. Oh wait, but that's different. Huh? As for the final verdict, the Black Hoodie has sent yet another team that dare challenges it to the Shadow Realm, and Alabama continues its march to the Promised Land. A much different team than the one in Week 1, and a completely different team from last year.
Man, all I can say, Bama, y'all got lucky. Like last year, South Carolina gave y'all a fight, and y'all managed to claw your way back last second. Man, it would have sucked to lose to a bunch of cocks like that. Man.
Getting the praise out of the way quickly, Dan Elko has done an amazing job with a program that has desperately sought success for many years and now has the Aggies in the driver's seat heading to Atlanta alongside Alabama. I honestly believed A&M was toast in the post-Fisher era, but I've been massively proven wrong. Which the same can't be said about the other side. I honestly can tell you I had been proven right for my 2022 assessment of LSU's hiring of Brian Kelly. His results at Notre Dame were impressive for a guy who could only win inferior matchups and DJ Ugalele-led Clemson's. Following a coach like Ed Orgeron with a guy like Brian Kelly is like following a Judaism appreciation festival with a German pride parade. It's not exactly in good taste nor the best look. He's managed to do something that is damn near unheard of. He has lost a match in primetime against a top 10 opponent not named Alabama in Death Valley. LSU's only approach at this rate, pay the $11 million to buy out Kelly and look for a young gun candidate that can reinvigorate the mentality it takes to wear the gold and purple in Death Valley with pride. Oh wait, they did pay his buyout. Man, it sure is amazing on how much time a fluke win over Alabama and a Heisman can get you these days.
LSU should have never fired Coach Joe. Now that they have Mr. Mid as their head coach, and that's all he is, mid, I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Kelly will be kicking it back with big game James Franklin and old buddy boy Napier in Cancun here soon. Is what I did have written down at first, but at the moment of recording this, like GX said, he's officially been fired. Good job, LSU. You did something right for once. And Notre Dame is laughing their butts off. Despite that, I'll make my SEC championship game prediction right here and right now. It's going to be Alabama versus Texas A&M. Either that Texas A&M just has pure luck on their side, or they're a serious contender to hold up the trophy at the end of the year. Good job, Aggies.
Not really much to explain on who goes into the piss corner this week. Brian Kelly can't even be bothered by a former player with brain cancer, much less you two be bothered running a fair use platform. Fuck this new age internet shit, man. I tell you what. Yup. This game happened. The moment I give praise to a team pulling an upset, they go to the next room over and shit the bed left, right, and center. But, what's Houston's record again? Oh shit. When was anyone gonna notice these guys in the Big 12 race? Houston's only loss was against Texas Tech. The Big 12 finds itself in quite the interesting race this year that folks are sleeping on. It remains between BYU, Cincy, Texas Tech, and now Houston. I refuse to give comments because I don't want to inevitably doom any more teams from this conference. My money's still on Texas Tech.
Yeah, all I can say is Houston's gonna do great for the rest of the year. Sorry, not sorry, Big 12.
Welcome back to our next week look ahead and predictions, where we inevitably doom your teams to take the piss and head into what we can now call the piss dungeon with how many lucky attendees we currently have. Starting off, Oklahoma at Tennessee. Oklahoma, I believe, will be competitive for most of the match, but give me Rocky Top & Co. getting them over the hump. Tennessee, but close.
This game, I'm gonna pick old Rocky Top I believe the Sooners are going to have the good old Ole Miss hangover, and the Volunteers are going to take well advantage over that. Give me the old Rocky Top.
You know, I almost feel bad doing this to you, Sato, but it's a rivalry game between two historic programs. I wish these were different circumstances, but they're not. Give me overrated State University.
Sorry. Ignore that. That's just the sound of rigor mortis setting in. Call me crazy, because the last time we beat the evil empire, you know what we were? Unranked. You know what we are now? Unranked. I rest my case. A Penn State team with nothing to lose except for what's left of their sanity goes into Columbus and spoils OSU's day and hurts them in their ego, giving me my Nittany Lions, and if not, you would know where I'm at. You'll know where I'll be at. I'm gonna have cirrhosis of the liver by the time I'm 30, aren't I?
Heading on down to the Lone Star State to see Archtard and Co. Give me Vandy in their largest win of the season going into Austin and dealing the killing blow to the Longhorn season and what little hope they still have.
After how both Texas and Vandy have been playing in the most recent weeks, is this even an option? Is this even a choice? Commodores all the way. Man, we are really living in a life where Vanderbilt is in the top 10. Man, what a world we live in.
In the land of the Latter-day Saints, this one is extremely tough for me to choose because I want to choose Cincy, but I'll curse their season. But if I choose Utah, Sato draws near in the competition we're having. Sorry, Utah, but give me Cincy.
Well, for this matchup's a toss-up, but they're getting double whammied. I'm going with the Bearcats on this. And they make another conference win to get to the Big 12 title game. We just screwed them over, didn't we?
And wrapping up, the world's largest cocktail party. Georgia versus Florida. Only reason this is here is the case in point OSU and Penn State have on being this week's list. Rivalry. Give me the Dogs, but in a close one against a hostile crowd with nothing to lose.
So, riddle me this. A football team, aka the Georgia Bulldogs, versus a rotting gator corpse. Yeah, go Dogs. Yeah, easy.
And with that ends Richard Rico's Week 9 recap and Week 10 look ahead. Please like, subscribe, and don't forget to lock on. See you guys later.